The content you're about to enjoy comes from the archives of The Best You. We're devoted to the very best in personal development. With a magazine and resources dedicated to inspiring and changing people's lives, at The Best You, we work with the world's leading writers and trainers on the evolution of the self, and people whose journeys have been affected by their work and words. For more information, go to www.thebestyou.co.
Hi everyone, welcome. How are you all enjoying your day so far? So I got a question for you. How many of you are coaches already? Fantastic. And how many of you are thinking about becoming coaches? Wonderful. And how many of you have got no interest in coaching at all? Because you're in the wrong place if so, but the good news is you're all in the right place. Wonderful. So welcome. So the title of my talk today is How to Become an International Executive Six-Figure Coach in 2018. And I was just thinking probably a more accurate title would be What You Need to Do, What You Need to Have in order to become a six-figure international coach in 2018. So we've only got 20 minutes, so I'm going to rush through this and give you lots of highlights and things to think about. And I'm going to try and save a few minutes at the end for your questions. So think of any interesting questions or not interesting questions as you listen to me, and we'll cover them at the end. So my main coaching company is called La Vita Nuova, which means the new life in Italian. And I was one of the first coaches in the UK. So I've actually been coaching since about 1999, 2000, when nobody really knew what coaching was. And I love coaching. It's just been the most incredible journey. I do personal coaching and also executive coaching. And I work with CEOs and senior teams in 6 continents around the world. And I love the traveling, and I love working from different places, and I love the personal coaching too. So last year, I made a dream of mine come true, which was to start World Class Coaching Academy. And in my previous life, before I was a coach, I was a university lecturer, and I've always loved teaching. And over the years with coaching, I began to realize that the coaching profession is not being served by the quality and type of coach training that's out there. It seems superficially like there's an awful lot out there, but actually, as an ICF coach mentor, working with new coaches and also teaching coaching for other programs, I was seeing more and more the new coaches coming out and not having the kind of business that they'd hoped and dreamed of having. And I saw that there were some real gaps. So I began to get this idea of creating this world-class international coach program that would actually help people do what I do. Because I've had a multi-six-figure business for over 10 years. And when I started coaching, I didn't do it for the money in the sense that I thought actually I was risking my secure job by doing it. I did it out of sheer passion and love. But as you all know, when you do something that you're really good at and that you love, often you end up being much more prosperous and abundant because you're using your gift in the world. So basically, my program brings together lots of different things, and I'll tell you about it later. So I've written a book called Who Do You Want to Be? How to Embrace Change and Live Your Dream. And I love working internationally. I love working with teams, with individuals, and with the Enneagram. How many of you know what the Enneagram is? Oh, fantastic. So I won't even talk about it because I could spend the whole 20 minutes talking about the Enneagram, but it's an amazing, really profound personality profiling approach. And I also love working with energy management. So one of the things that I think is really interesting and really paradoxical about coaching, and tell me if you can nod if you agree with me or shake your head if you disagree with me. But I've come to realize over the years that even though people usually go into coaching with a passion for personal development, often coaches don't really develop themselves as much as they might personally. Have you all noticed that? It's a real paradox. And to me, part of the beauty and the joy in coaching is really evolving and stretching yourself to be the absolutely best version of you that you can be. And then from that, from that, having had that journey and that experience, then emulating it authentically for other people to do the same. And what I've learned over the years is that you can't coach anyone to a level deeper than you've actually gone yourself. So if you really want to be a profound, transformative coach, you've got to work on yourself profoundly. And so we always talk about the doing of coaching, what you need to do to be a coach. But actually, as important as that is, it's more important to look at who you need to be a coach, the being of coaching. And so I love this quote by Gandhi, be the change you want to see in the world. Because I think it all starts with you being inspiring by inspiring yourself and continuing to do it every day. So it's not something that stops. It continues to grow. And your own joy in evolving and learning gives you more energy and more inspiration for your clients. So coaching is a really interesting industry right now. And there was a report done last year that I wanted to show to you, a really big survey by the EMCC on the coaching industry last year. And basically, as you probably all know, coaching has just exploded in the last 10 years. It kind of went from being, when I started coaching, something nobody had heard about, to being absolutely mainstream now. And most successful people have their own coach, and it's considered a badge of honor, as you know.
For complimentary resources from my book, my complimentary e-course, The Power of the Question, or recommended reads, go to www.thequestion.com/resources. For more information on my coaching or mentoring, go to www.bernardo-moya.com.
So it's actually one of the fastest growing industries that we have. It's $2 billion revenue at the moment. Does that surprise you? $2 billion or not really? I mean, and it's just growing exponentially. So one of the reasons is because obviously our whole workplace is changing dramatically. People's jobs are being phased out. People are changing careers several times during their lifetime. And coaching has stepped in to address this and meet people where they are and help them explore what else might be possible for them in a very focused way that is really valuable right now. Oops, what have I just done? Sorry? I got trigger happy. I was pressing too much. Yeah, I got carried away. Too much enthusiasm. Meant to be the chain. No, it's meant to be the one after that. Sorry, guys. You can just think about all the pearls of wisdom I've just shared with you and let them sink in. Yeah, thank you. Thank you. Okay. Note to self, do not get overexcited. Okay. So, and also in companies with executive coaching, there was a really interesting article recently in the Harvard Business Journal, and it said that companies are quite alike these days in terms of products and in terms of their offerings. And what distinguishes companies and helps them stand out is the quality and the energy and the distinctiveness of their people. And so coaching, if done really well, can help a company transform itself from the inside out by developing people. And I love doing that kind of work. However, it's not all a totally happy story, because at the same time, there's more and more new coaches coming onto the market. I mean, almost flooding onto the market. And because there's no barriers to entry and anyone can be a coach, a lot of coaches are not properly qualified. They're not even really suited to being a coach. And in order to take advantage of this incredible market and to make the difference that you want to make in the world and to have a multi-six-figure or six-figure income, you need to be different than an average coach. Being average doesn't do it anymore. There was a time when being average was okay, just by the fact of being a coach, but not anymore. You've got to be distinctive. And so you need to be really highly trained. And I personally am a big fan of the ICF, the International Coach Federation, and their 3 levels of credentials. And I've had the highest one, the Master Credential Coach, since 2006. And it's really helped me professionally. So I thoroughly recommend that to you. And business savvy and credible and distinctive to be successful. So here are some facts about money that I think are quite interesting and in a way quite shocking. So these are the fees per hour for corporate coaching at the moment. And you'll see that the most common fee is 100 to 199 euros. It's not even pounds, it's euros, an hour. which is really quite little in the scheme of things. And that most coaches are clustering around that fairly low level, which backs up my point that if you're going to be distinctive and successful and really contribute to the level that you've got the potential to, you need to have the training to be distinctive in how you coach, the level of your coaching, and also how you present yourself as a business. And in my coaching business, I'm definitely in the top category, over €1,000. But it's not because, the money, it's not the money per se, it's the value that I'm able to give because of the level of my coaching and the experience I've had and the training I've had and the value that the client gets. It's all about the value that the client gets. And you need to be confident that you are delivering at that level to charge higher fees. And these are the fees per hour for individual coaching. So that's personal coaching, which, as you can see, actually pays a bit less than executive coaching. So it's actually between 50 and 100 euros an hour for individual coaches. What do you all think about these figures? Are they surprising? Would you have imagined? What are your thoughts? Your point is basically that there are coaches who do charge a lot more, of whom I am one, and I'm sure there are other coaches in the room. Who else is at the top end of the scale in the room? Okay, nobody, but there's obviously the potential to be there. And again, it's not about the money, it's about the quality of the service that you're delivering and your own commitment to it, your own personal development, and your ability to be distinctive in the marketplace. So are you beginning to see from what I've shared with you so far why I feel there's a gap in the market in terms of what coach training is doing? It's not enough anymore to have average coaching skills. You'll be one of many thousands. You've got to really take seriously the beautiful opportunity to keep developing yourself to your potential and really embody in your being what you're doing. And you need to be really thoughtful and sophisticated and get the right kind of support to have a distinctive kind of coaching business where your clients are going to be very attracted to you. And then the other thing that I think is really important is the world has opened up so that we can coach internationally. We can coach all around the world. There's no barriers to that. So I've got a project at the moment in Asia. I've had several recently in Africa and in South America. And you can deliver the coaching in a mix of face-to-face when you go and visit, and also virtual from your own desk, wherever you happen to be, which in my case is in Bath in the southwest of England. But in order to do that, you need to be at the level that I was just describing in terms of personal development, really high-level coaching skills, and also business uniqueness in what you're offering. So I got some practical steps for you that I hope will be useful for you to think about if you aspire to be a transformational, international, successful, six-figure coach who is in their being what they are in their doing and is at that level. The first thing I would suggest is that you think about where you are now and where you want to be, which is kind of like a classical coaching approach, right? But really, you need to figure out what the gap is in order to think about how you're going to navigate and if you want to navigate it.
For more information on collaborating, partnering, sponsoring, supporting, or speaking at any of our events or finding out more about our legacy clubs, go to www.thebestyou.co. If you're interested in finding out more about the amazing content we have, please go to www.thebestyou.online and get your 14-day free trial now.
And then this point I was raising earlier, personal development. Is it really in depth? Where are you stuck? Where are you blocked? What are your opportunities for growth? And do you inspire others? Because a lot of it is energy. It's how you manage your own energy and how you project your energy and how that interacts with the energy in your client and uplifts them. And it's very precious and beautiful. Then your coaching skills. It's not enough to know how to ask powerful questions. You've got to be able to really hear the limiting beliefs, really hear what someone isn't saying, really think about the paradigms that the client has, what is going on underneath the surface. And you need to have a really broad repertoire. So positive psychology maybe, or somatic coaching or emotional intelligence coaching. You need to be able to draw from lots of different approaches. Stand out in the marketplace with your branding. Think about coaching virtually as well as in person, because you're going to dramatically expand your opportunities. Think about coaching not just locally, but nationally and internationally. Think about the quality of your coach training, your own distinctive coaching packages, getting an ICF advanced qualification, and last but not least, your own mindset and your own wealth consciousness, which will trip you up every time for most people when they start out coaching. So, my program, World Class Coaching Academy, like I said, it's designed to give you really high-level personal development. And we use the Enneagram, which is sensational, and a lot of other approaches to help you really see yourself in a way you've never seen yourself before, which is really exciting and very inspiring and will give so much energy to your coaching practice. And for people who really want to achieve excellence, who don't want an average coaching business, who want to be at the top of the scale, who want to be distinctive, who want to make a huge difference, and who want to have a life and a lifestyle that also reflects that. So basically what we do is we do coach training at a very high level, personal development, and the business design area. So those are some of the points I wanted to make to you. I've actually got a free gift for everyone to say thank you for coming to the talk. My stand is D35, and I've got a handout of the points that I just shared about the steps to get this kind of business in more depth with some check boxes. So if you would like that, please come to D35, and Carly is just here. And Carly or myself will be very happy to give that to you. I've also got some copies of my book if you would like to read it. And if you have any questions for me personally, there isn't time to answer them now, but I'll be able to answer them personally at my stand. And I've also got some special offers of coaching things if you're interested. So I think we got time maybe for one or two questions. Yes, we got time for one or two questions. And you're going to have to shout. I'm sorry, yes. Is there a microphone that we could just pass? You'll shout, okay.
Us your view on things like Action Coach and other coaching methodologies that you've come across?
Yes, well, I can't comment on specific programs because that wouldn't be fair.
Indeed.
But what I will say is that there's a lot of mass market coach training programs which are fairly short and fairly superficial and which have no barrier to entry, so they'll take anyone who applies.
Once you pay.
And as a result, a lot of people are graduating as coaches who don't have what they need to be successful. And for World Class Coaching Academy, I only invite people who, after talking to them at length, I believe that they can do it. Otherwise, I don't think it's fair. Any other questions? Yes.
Cheers. Hi. So can you share like the early stages of your coaching journey? How did you go about getting your first couple of clients, and
Yes.
were you doing one-on-one, or did you design a course, some framework?
Yeah. So that's another reason that I designed this course, is because I learned through trial and error. And I had various coach mentors over the years, but a lot of them are like one size fits all blueprint. This is the way to do it. You see them in Facebook ads. And I'm sorry to say, despise that, because I think the way to be distinctive is to tap into your uniqueness and understand what lights you up and what is your particular gift in the world, and to build a business from that. I didn't know that when I started. I've learned it over the years. So I started out by giving talks locally and writing articles in newspapers, working one-to-one. And then I began to get more into executive coaching, and I began to find my way over the years. But it took me about maybe 6 years to really, to be at six figures, and to also have the confidence that my business was going to thrive, that it had its own momentum, that I could enjoy it and not be stressed. Time for one more question.
Yes, we have one more last question.
One last question, yes. Hi.
Hi, my name is Gloria, and you mentioned something about like every coach has a coach. Who were, if I shall I ask, who were your coaches, and what kind of courses do you think that are important now for have that kind of uniqueness and to bring into the coaching, like NLP, any others about some of them you already mentioned.
Yes,
so if you know
and so
any
that's
other
a really
ones.
good question. I'm going to answer quickly so I don't hold these people up. But I think it's very important to have really high quality coaching and really high quality training if you're a coach. Because if not, there's a real authenticity gap that you're asking people to invest in your services, but you're not prepared yourself to invest. And that's the kind of energy dissonance that is not very helpful. So I've invested probably about 150,000, 200,000 pounds over the last 20 years in coaches and coaching programs with mixed results. Some of them helped me, some of them didn't. Some of them I learned what not to do. A lot of them were too identikit, cookie cutter, this is the way to do it. But the Enneagram training that I did with Don Riso and Russ Hudson of the Enneagram Institute was the best thing that I've done for my coaching, and I've trained with them face-to-face over many years, and that was wonderful. But I think I need to finish now, so if you've got any more questions, please come to D35, and I'll be really happy to speak with you and give you your free gift. And thank you so much for coming, and I wish you all happiness and joy in your coaching future.
For more information, go to www.thebestyou.co.